You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what is up, and welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. I'm your host, dini-mussolini, and we have a very special guest for today's episode. So hold on to your hats as we kick this off. So just because you've been wrong is no reason to do the wrong thing. In fact, it is all the more reason to do the right thing. Just because there's someone to blame for your troubles does not mean that you can end your troubles by hurting that other person. No matter who is to blame for your problems, you are responsible for them. Revenge may be entirely justified, but it will rarely solve the problem. Just as time does not proceed backwards, you cannot right a wrong by committing another wrong. Though punishment is often an appropriate and positive step, it cannot undo what has already been done. The energy you put into blaming others for your problems take away from the energy you have available to effectively address those problems. Don't let the desire to assign blame detract you from making the things right. You cannot move backwards, so put your energy into moving forward. Take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or Inside the Book, Inside the Business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, crystalline, or starseeds, or for my Vigilantes audience family, and 2 times for my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 4 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect, and we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award-winning artists to nominees to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens, or people who think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com, and that's V as in Victor. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Text that number to your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be right here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. Feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much and we take up the entire hour. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1media group, iTunes, YouTube, or any app from the Google Play or iTunes store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we ever aired.
All right, welcome to the show. Today's interview is with Sam Segobind. So, she has some great stuff for you, so you definitely want to stick around. Our interviews go beyond the business, the aspirations, the music, the films, and into the minds of the people who create these marvelous aspirations. From researching our special guests, mining for details, reading, watching, and listening to everything we can, our interviews are designed to bring out the best answers possible through provoking questions that have real substance. So with that, let's welcome our guest, Sam, to our show. Hello, you're now live in the midst with all of us. How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're definitely welcome.
I've been in business since 2012, and my business services is pretty much a one-stop shop. On top of that, I provide tax services, both personal and business. So listen, if you really need something done, I'm the person you want to come to.
Most definitely.
So outside of that, I'm going to be the main guest speaker at the 2020 Business Networking Brunch held in Philadelphia on Sunday, April 19th at the TLO Event Complex, hosted by DJ Music Major. So join me if you're a business owner or thinking about starting your own business. I'll also be giving on-the-spot credit repair and business finance help. Anything you need done business-wise, or even if you need personal financial help, I'm here. I can help. I have all the tools, and I have the right network.
That is so awesome, Sam. So, let's back it up for a bit and find out who you are as a person. So how did you get involved in business and wanting to help businesses thrive and even go as far as repairing people's credit? I know that is a epidemic, if I can even use that word, for
oh my God, it really is.
That we find ourselves in, because there's no school. I mean, there's schools, but that's not really taught in school, how to protect your credit, how to invest and, prepare for the future. It's all about fractions and pi and square and stuff you don't even use in life, But yeah, go ahead. Tell us about yourself.
Well, the reason I got into business for myself was I had a passion for bookkeeping, and then it expanded from there. It expanded to, okay, if I want to start my own business, then I should be able to help somebody else start their own business, because the majority of the time people don't have the know-how, and they go to a place like the LegalZoom, not knocking them, but they're overpriced when you can literally do this stuff for you, and all you have to do is pay the fees. Now, some people don't want to go through all of that because it does take hours, because you have to wait on the email confirmations in order. It's like a 5-step process depending on what state you're in. So it was like people were telling me that I'm just going to pay you to do it. LegalZoom charges about $400 to start an LLC, but if we're being real honest with it, all you have to do is pay the state filing fee. And I know in Philadelphia, it's only $125. And that's how you get an LLC started. LegalZoom will charge you $90 to get your EIN when you can go on the IRS website, and it's free. But people don't know. They don't have the knowledge. So it's important that they have the right guidance.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I mentor people.
That's dope. That is so dope. All right. So let's talk about debt for a minute. You know, dealing with debt can be overwhelming and confusing when things get complicated. You might want a professional to answer some of your most pressing credit and investment questions. So let's start with some of the bases. How can someone get started in your program?
Well, with the credit repair, I pretty much, for the most part, I waive the setup fee. So they just have to pay the monthly fee. And what we do is we have designed letters to address different creditors. And it's a 3 to 4 step process. So you start with the first basic letter, and you get them to either validate or devalidate the debt. If they can't validate it, it comes off your credit report. And if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, because most debt is constantly resold, which means you don't have to repay it because it's going to somebody else that you don't have a contract with. But it just takes the right wording in order to be able to get it off your credit report. And most people don't know that.
Okay. So also, how can or what can consumers expect from like a credit review?
It depends. So there's a number of factors. So it also depends on what your credit is being ran for. So for a mortgage, your credit is going to be ran on a different level. Most people don't know that. There's different scoring systems as opposed to being ran for a credit card or a car loan. They're going to look at what you see on your credit report on Experian or Equifax or TransUnion. But when it comes to a mortgage, they use a different scoring system, which is usually lower than what you think your actual credit score is. So there's a lot involved in it, and there's different tools that you can help boost your credit score, which is something that me, myself personally, I've had to learn along the way.
Okay.
So I've had to use like trade lines, starter cards, credit building cards, but it's also finicky because it depends on what company you go with.
Yeah.
So there's a lot involved in it, but it's really not hard. It's just having the right information available.
Yeah, that was my next question to ask you. How easy or complicated is that process with your services?
It's really not, because for the majority of the part, I take care of it. The only thing is that we have our clients involved. So you have responsibility because this is your credit.
Yeah.
You have certain goals that you want to meet, so you have a responsibility in it. So what we do is we'll run your credit, we'll find out what's on your credit report, and then we make the letters. You're responsible for printing them out, or we have them mailed to you. The most important thing that most people don't know is if you don't sign your signature on that letter, it's invalid. So a lot of my clients, they have to sign those letters and mail them in. That's your responsibility. But credit in the United States of America right now is everything.
Yeah.
There is no trying to get cash here and there. Everything goes off of credit. So it's really important. And I had to learn it the hard way myself, which is why I'm so passionate about it. You have to take care of your credit.
Most definitely, yeah. I mean, so what are the letters saying that clients are mailing to these credit, I guess, the people they're in debt with?
Well, the first rounds of letters get them to either validate the debt based on your personal information. That would be your social. It would be your date of birth, because if they have your date of birth wrong, it's invalid. The correct amount, or even as far as the account numbers. If all of that is incorrect, it's an invalid debt. The second round of letter gets more aggressive, where it's pretty much saying, well, prove to me that this person got into an agreement with you. Majority of the time, it doesn't go past that.
Yeah, because a lot of those contracts are sold to debt collectors.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're not in a contract with the original debt, then you're not responsible for it. Just because it's sold doesn't mean you're responsible for it. I mean, it is a good idea to pay it off if the debt can't be validated. But people are just uneducated, and they think that, you know, if you incurred a debt, like perfect example, student loans. That's one thing that most people don't know about. Student loans, there's certain loan companies within the student loans, like that whole system, that have failed. And they still are trying to get people to pay, but in all reality, they don't have to. And most people also don't know about consolidation when you're talking about the Department of Education. When you have a loan with them and you have multiple loans. So if you consolidate, if you think about it, you consolidate debt. It means that those individual loans are being paid off, which boosts your credit score, but it creates one loan. It boosts your credit score so high. I remember when I consolidated, my credit score boosted by 25 points.
Dope.
Most people just don't know that.
Yeah.
The other thing that people don't understand is credit usage. So you want to stay under 33% of your credit limit. That pretty much lets creditors know that you're a responsible user. So you're using the money wisely. That will ultimately lead to bigger credit lines, higher loans, which is what basically we have to go off in America.
Okay. So Sam, tell us about your experiences with business consulting.
Wow. So for business consulting, excuse me. So my partner, which wasn't my partner until afterwards, but I helped him start up his own business. And I trained him on finances, what his bottom line should be, because whether you're in a service-based industry or a product-based industry, you have to know what your bottom line is. So it's your expenses, and then it's your bottom line, which is your profit. So I've gained so much experience in that. And, you know, starting up my own business, I had to learn it the hard way because nobody taught me. I didn't have anybody to guide me through it. That's the reason why I do what I do, and I don't charge for it. So what I learned from my business partner was that people just don't know, and they undervalue themselves until somebody teaches them what their value is, or they learn it the hard way.
Yeah.
You have to know what your value is and what you want to make in order to make your dreams come true and to have just the life that you want.
Yeah. So you have this major event happening in April in Philadelphia. What made you add this event into the mix? I think it's like right in the heart where people are getting their taxes back, so they have an option to invest or pay down some debt. Or was that the whole idea, or was there a bigger mission?
No. Well, it was part of it, but the biggest thing for me was always giving back.
Yeah.
So what I learned along the way was nobody taught me So what I wanted to do in return to give back, and more so than that, we need to educate and we need to empower all minorities to start their own business, to make their own way. So that was my whole thing about it. It had nothing to do with like taxes, although it is ample time because majority of my clients, I make sure they get a refund back. But it was more so about empowering themselves so they didn't have to work for everybody else. Right. Because at the end of the day, when you're working for somebody else, you're making them richer. And what are you doing? You're working for somebody else. And it's hours from your life, and time is precious.
Yes, indeed. So let me ask you this. What makes your credit repair different from any other credit repair companies? Because we don't charge and we don't draw out the process. We do charge. There is a monthly fee, but we don't make it a lengthy process, because the more people we can help, we can help. So majority of other credit repair companies, what they do is they'll take a handful of your creditors, but they will only dispute it one credit company at a time. So they would take 5 and then they would just address it with TransUnion, and then you have to wait 30 days for the response. Then they would go to Experience, but those same 5 companies, and do the same thing and repeat. With us, what we do is we address all the credit bureaus, all of the companies at the same time, and we just make it a 3 to 4 step process. Okay. So it's not trying to get everything out of you, because in America, there is over, if I remember correctly, over 60 million people that have issues with their credit. Yeah.
That's under 700. And if you want to get a really good mortgage, you got to have over 700 as a credit score to get the best rate. Who wants to pay a mortgage and then majority of your mortgage is going towards interest?
Yeah.
It's a huge issue, and to be honest, a lot of us don't own houses because of that. We have problems with our credit. We have problems with our finances, but the majority of the issue is we just don't have the knowledge.
You're definitely right about that. Do you offer a guarantee?
With credit repair, there is no guarantee. It depends on the creditor.
Okay.
So, I mean, we will definitely fight it, and most of them back off. But there's some of them that has some loopholes that we don't know about, and that's generally because our clients have either validated the debt by answering the phone call and giving their personal information, which I tell people all the time, don't do that. When your account has been sold to another company and they call you and you don't recognize the debt, don't validate it. Do not give your name, do not give your address, do not give your social security or your birthday, because that validates the debt. So we can't give guarantees. It goes by situation, and we really don't know what people are saying.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this. So this event is taking place, and it's in Philadelphia. So we do have a fan base out in Philadelphia. We reach a lot of people out there. But also, what about the other people that are listening from different parts of the world? How can they take advantage of your services as well?
Well, as far as the United States, when it comes to taxes, we process nationwide. When it comes to starting a business, we process nationwide. We're licensed to do that. Nice. When it comes to financial advisement, we can do that from anywhere. All it takes is a Skype call And what I do for my clients is if they're even skeptical about it, I send them my EIN from the IRS with a confirmation letter. I sent them my PTIN, which is basically me being able to process from anywhere, just making sure that I'm licensed. Like, I do everything to make sure that my clients' minds are at ease. So they don't have to worry, because e-commerce has become a really, really big thing. People can do business from anywhere. So I make sure that my clients' minds are at ease before we move forward in business.
Okay. So what would you say to consumers who are struggling with credit scores? Like, what's the first thing they can do?
Well, I have a number of resources. It does cost money, but it's not like they're paying me. I just give them pretty much where they need to go to apply, just to, start up credit card, and they take it from there. And that's the step in the first direction. We also have trade light accounts that I've actually used myself that help me tremendously. They approve everybody. It's all about that down payment. So you have to have some sort of money in order to be able to start getting your credit right. If your credit isn't really, really bad, even if it is, you can still get it right.
Yeah. I believe
it's all about the resources. And most people, like, I give this information out to the people that I deal with, my tax clients, for free, because, come on, we all have to help each other. It takes a village, doesn't it?
It does. Yes, indeed, Sam. So what tips do you have for borrowers who are facing default on their student loans?
With that, I would actually have to speak to them, because there's different programs out there that people might not qualify for the same program, but there's actually a program out there that you can call in, they'll run your social, they'll grab all of your student loans, but most people don't know that some of your student loans don't, because they become personal loans, they don't automatically consolidate, so you have to be careful with that. But there is a program out there that goes based on your income. And if you turn in your taxes, and depending on how much you make, you might pay $5 a month, which I did. This was about 5 years ago, which I did. As opposed to, paying $500-$600 a month. Because it's ridiculous. To be honest, I got my college degree, but I was $50,000 in debt.
Wow.
And it's rough. And then the repayment plan, sometimes they go based on your income if you provide it, but most of the time they just set a payment. And that's it. And then you go into default. And God forbid you're a single mom struggling and, you really need that extra money at tax time, and your refund gets snatched. My best friend's niece, last year, I did her taxes. She got over $8,000 back, and they snatched it.
Wow.
She was a single mom.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gave her the necessary tool. Even my son's special needs, so his nurse had a similar situation too, and I gave her all the information, because the first year I did her taxes, they snatched her refund. It was over $11,000.
Wow.
And when I say I'm good at what I do, when it concerns taxes or business, I'm great at what I do. It's all about loopholes.
Yeah.
But this networking event that we have coming up, it's going to be fantastic, because I have a few guest speakers. I'm the main guest speaker, but The few guest speakers that I have coming, they're personal friends of mine that I've either inspired or mentored along the way. And they're doing fantastic. So it's really going to be great. And a lot of people really, really need to come out because there's going to be a lot of information. Yeah. It's on-the-spot credit repair, where I give you all the information that you need. I give you everything that you could possibly imagine when it comes to starting your own business. So there's a lot to be learned just as a business owner or an aspiring entrepreneur.
Yeah. So I heard you mention consolidation a few times, and that can produce an excellent benefit, on the right candidate's financial portfolio, but it can also wreak long-term havoc on the wrong candidate's financial portfolio as well. So what exactly is consolidation?
So consolidation is this. You have a debt consolidation company. So what it is basically it's one main loan that pays off all those individual loans. So if you qualify for that main loan, it boosts your credit right away because you're paying off all those individual accounts.
Yeah.
So it's looking, what it is it's not looking, it actually is. Those little individual accounts, and I know people don't understand it, but those little individual accounts and late payments, they hurt you more because it's a bunch of them. But if you have one main account and they pay off all those individuals, it boosts your credit score so much. It makes you a worthy person in the eyes of lenders to be able to lend money to. Because instead of having 10 different loans, you now have one loan. And those 10 different loans are paid off and they're marked as paid off.
Nice. So has your opinion of the financial industry and all that comes with it changed over the course of your career in business?
Well, that's a loaded question. It's really a loaded question because interest rates, for me, personally, I think that the banking industry they make entirely too much money off of people. So yes, my opinion has changed. If you think about it, say you're short and your account goes negative. Do you know how much money the banks make off of overdraft fees, late fees?
Yeah.
So yeah, my opinion in the finance industry is, at least when it comes to even personal banking, business banking, and business, it's insane just what they do just to make a couple dollars.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that couple dollars is a lot of dollars.
Oh, yeah. Especially when you don't have it.
I was talking to my best friend about it about a month back, and she was like, so I went through a rough time, and I had overdraft fees, I had late fees, and when she was telling me how much it was, I was like, oh my God, just stick your money under a mattress. It was just, it's insane. It's insane how much the business industry will take advantage of consumers if consumers do not have the right education. So one of the reasons why I started my company, information is everything. I won't say it's power, I would say it's empowerment. If you have the know-how, you can do anything.
That's definitely. So I have one last question for you. What's currently on your music playlist right now that you're just bumping?
You'd be surprised. It's a song called Panic Room. Because it's light to dark. So, yeah, that's the last thing on my playlist. Panic Room.
Cool deal. All right, it's promotion time, so plug in your websites, social media links, and cool information where people can connect with you.
Well, if anybody wants to connect with me, the first thing and foremost is hit my cell phone. I have that in my hand pretty much 24/7. 267-973-7097. As far as my website, perfect-books.com. You can find everything about me on there. But to be honest, hit my cell phone because that is always in my hand.
Definitely. Cool deal. Well, thank you so much, Sam, for being our special guest. We'll have all of that information in the show notes and in the description of this episode, so all our listeners have to do is click those links or hit the call you button and, let them hit you up.
Thank you so much for having me.
The pleasure was all mine, Sam. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right. Have a great night.
You too.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1media group, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website, and that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to theradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.only1mediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.